It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Treestands,
and Badass Slingshots.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal, everybody. Host Mike Adams, Dan DeFaw. We are not in the cabin. We are on the road again, as Willie Nelson used to sing.
Yep.
Back in our favorite store, Cabela's.
Yes, back in our favorite home store, Saginaw, Michigan.
And we're going live. You can see us on Facebook over there. You can see us on Periscope right here. So
yeah,
doing a little live stream.
Doing a little live streaming. Going to cut the show right here this morning, Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, 9/11. It's 9:30 when we walked in the store. About 8:55. Flags at half staff, and I can't even begin the show without saying, let's just give a moment of silence. You remember where you were at? I remember where I was at.
Absolutely. We were talking about that before they opened the doors and let us in. And
talked to a customer coming in.
He remembers exactly where he was at. And you know what? I think it was the same type morning.
It was. Bluebird sky, crystal clear,
there was,
like today.
There was no wind.
It was a little cooler that morning, I remember.
Okay.
I remember there was a chill in the air. And, I mean, just from the weather, not from what happened. I mean, there was definitely evil in the air that day. But
oh, absolutely.
Got our Cabela's American flag hats on today, just in remembrance. We're not trying to be cheesy here, folks. We're just trying to let everybody know we're thinking about them, thinking about their families. There was a guy here in Michigan that went to school here locally that lost his life that day. And, we just want to remember those folks.
And besides that day, the after effects from that, from all the besides the survivors, the rescuers that went in and
absolutely
all the health
people,
after that,
the police officers,
the animals,
the
everything that had to
and all that,
everybody that had to do with anything with that.
You want to step back 15 years ago, and think about what's going on in the world today. Think about what's going on in America today. Step back 15 years ago and remember the patriotism and the love we had for our fellow Americans and for our police officers, our EMT guys, our firefighters, our servicemen and women that are out there fighting. Every time I see somebody wearing a hat where they've served or currently serving, go up, shake their hand, tell them thank you.
And we'll probably see a few today.
Absolutely. And I go out of my way to make sure to tell them thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because if it wasn't for them, we couldn't be out here hunting, fishing, and enjoying the great outdoors.
Absolutely, and that's why we are here. Fall Great Outdoor Days, right?
Yeah. How was yesterday? What'd you think about yesterday?
Busy.
It was busy.
Wow.
We were going to do the show yesterday, and we couldn't even get the show in because it was so busy.
We couldn't get the show in. We were so busy. We had a plan, and that plan went right out the window because when we got here and we stepped back into the archery department,
boom,
it was, as you say, game on.
Yeah.
It was like left and right, and we had 1, 2, 3 technicians at a time going at it, wrenching on bows. We were helping people get in line to get the bows worked on, or crossbows.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what a day. And even when we left at 5 o'clock yesterday, poor Mark.
That guy, he didn't get out of the tech shop, I don't think, all day.
I'm surprised we didn't find him here this morning because when we
left
left
in the corner sleeping?
Yeah, when we left him with a line of people and something to do. So, but yeah, no, it was a good day, and hope today's going to be just as good. It makes the day go by fast.
It does. Sunday mornings here are usually a little slower. That's why we're doing the show.
That's why we can fit it in.
Right. So we got in here early, got set up, and they opened the doors, and we just started the show now. So
right, exactly.
Along,
so we got the, let's knock this out and do our podcast, and then prepare for the rest of the day. Hopefully, a lot of people come through that door.
Yeah, and and we want to say welcome back to all of our listeners. We didn't do a show last week. We did a PSC Tech Tip, and we did a Throwback Thursday. But, it was Labor Day weekend, and it was, more importantly, it was birthday weekend for Danny. So,
that's right.
Not birthday, but birthday weekend.
It started on Friday, and I carried it all the way through the whole weekend.
Yeah, your wife was talking about how pleased she was about being able to partake in that.
Exactly. It was tour de birthday weekend.
She said, thank goodness it's over.
See, at our age, when we get this old, we got to enjoy all the weekend of it.
Okay. All right. I'll remember that when it comes to my birthday this year.
Okay.
Maybe I'll carry it through the whole week. We'll see how that runs.
See, that's what we got to do. So
yeah, I don't think so.
But no, last week it was Labor Day. It was a good weekend just to, be with friends and family and enjoy it.
Somebody just posted out here something about what's up, you crazy, and I won't put on there what they said. I don't even know who posted that. I missed the name real quick, but obviously somebody we know. We're just rocking it, man. We're here at Cabela's hanging out. So
we stopped, had some breakfast, got you some coffee.
It's a good thing,
Mr. Grumpy.
Yeah, it's a good thing. But have you been getting ready for hunting season? Have you been busy? I know the last time we talked to you, you were finishing up the box blind. You were getting ready to head up north and put that thing up.
Right, exactly. And
good morning from Boise. All right, thanks, Boise.
And it kind of changed a little bit, the plans. So I didn't end up going up north.
You did not go?
No. There was some change in plans, and stay tuned to that because I don't know all the details yet, but it looks like that we might be doing a logging project on our property now.
Okay, good.
And that just kind of sprung up on me the week before.
Okay. Didn't want to put the box blind out and have a tree fall on it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, okay, I could go put this box blind up there, spend all that time putting up there, and come find out maybe a tree or something happens to it.
Or one of the machinery things, log cutting machines go across it and knock it over, huh? You don't want that to happen.
Exactly. So it just, man, I tell you what, if the timing works out, it's got to be done. We're going to do it. It's got to be done. Is the timing from what I'm getting perfect? No. But you know what? Let's just get it done.
Get it done, get it over with.
Get it over with,
right.
And start. Hopefully, by the end of this year, then I'll have like a clean slate.
Right on.
And then maybe during the winter, I'll develop a plan.
Sure.
And then start implementing it.
Well, and that's what we did with our place. Our cutting this year is done. We are going to do a winter cut on our property. In the process of finalizing all of that right now, but we're looking at right after season, December, January, somewhere in that area.
Yep.
So we do have a second cutting coming. And you know what? It's something, if you've got property, you need to take the time and evaluate if it's something that's right for you. Get in there. Trees can get old. They can get overgrown. They can, cut your understory, and it's not good for the habitat for all the animals, And I'm not saying cut every tree down. It's just you need to have a forester come in and look at it. And depending on what you're managing for, that's what you kind of need to start that process.
And 80 of our acres were cut over 20 years ago.
Okay.
So it's time.
Okay, gotcha.
And so the others, actually, hold on, 120 of the acreage has been cut about 20 years. I don't think the other 80 has been cut at all.
Okay.
Now that I think about it. So it's time. And it's good for the area anyways. They're, helping, using our resources, renewable.
Gotcha. So. Anybody doing any bear hunting up at your camp?
Nope. No bear.
Anybody in your area that you know of?
Nope. Nobody that I know of in the area is doing any bear hunting. So they'll have a free pass this year.
Gotcha.
We'll see if any more show up.
We might have one in our camp this year, maybe.
Okay.
We're kind of waiting and seeing. So
it's getting to be about that time. I know in a couple weeks, Jason Meekoff will be heading up to the UP there to do his
extraordinarily different style of bear hunting.
Exactly. Jason's
from Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, great organization out there helping preserve private or public land, preserving public land and waters for us outdoorsmen. So.
And he was with us at Bowfest.
Yep.
Had a great time there.
What do you think about Bowfest?
Oh man! Besides the 2-hour downpour, other than that, I talked to Jim. I thought it was a good 10th annual Bowfest.
Good deal. He was happy with the results?
He was happy. He was down a little bit in sales, but if you take the 2 hours, subtract it, it's a wash.
Right on.
So could have been better, but it was good while it was going. So, but yeah, it wasn't hot. It was warm. Luckily, there was a breeze coming through the tent. I think the tent went well. Thanks to Cabela's here, getting us the safe archery game to play with.
Cool.
That was fun. So
kids had a good time.
Mark Hammer was there with his buck.
In antler
action.
Antler action. His grunt or his rattling call.
Is that not a nice buck?
That is a huge buck. We've had pictures on our website from ATA and stuff. It's if you haven't ever seen a 200-inch buck up close and personal,
and no less a unicorn.
Yeah, there's no way to describe it.
No, there isn't. I mean, people were coming up to that thing and just looking at it and trying to put their hands around the base was just...
It's incredible.
It's a buck of a lifetime. No doubt about it.
Absolutely. And an Ohio buck.
And an Ohio buck. Jerry Lambert was there selling his books. Books and humidity tend not to go well together.
Right.
And then the 4-H girls were there.
Yep.
You know, the 4-H.
Raised a little money for their organization, 4-H Wildcats.
They had a great bake sale this year, so hopefully all that money raised will go back into the 4-H to get the equipment that they need.
Rock on. Well, you know what? We're running up on 10 minutes here in our first segment. We're going to stop our record, take our first break, step outside, and we're going to continue the live stream here.
Yep, we're just going to live stream it right through.
For the second segment, so we'll be right back after this.
I shoot PSE because I like one pin to 40 yards.
I shoot PSE for the perfect combination of feel and performance.
I shoot PSE because you can shoot lighter poundage and increase arrow speed.
I shoot PSE for the fastest bows on the planet. I shoot PSE because my livelihood depends on my bow.
I shoot PSE because better engineering makes a better bow.
I shoot PSE.
I shoot PSE.
I shoot PSE. I shoot PSE.
Experience PSE. Experience performance.
We know the future of hunting depends on our nation's youth. But did you know that in many states it's illegal for you to take your son or daughter hunting until the age of 12 or even older? As a result, we have fewer young hunters, and the Families Afield program is designed to eliminate those barriers. Hunting is safe, and the safest hunters afield are young people with adult mentors. Visit our website at familiesafield.org to find out how you can bring more families afield.
Welcome back, second segment of the show, everybody. For those of you who listen to the podcast, we're also live streaming here from Cabela's as well, Periscope and Facebook. Today, we've been talking a little bit about you getting ready for your logging project up north and everything, your box blind, why you kind of put that off. But, man, I went up north for 3 days last week, and actually the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday before Labor Day.
Okay.
I'm tired. I'm still tired. We worked our tail off.
I was going to say, you were doing a little huffing.
Yeah, we did a lot of work, working on blinds, working on trail cams, working on food plots, started our trail cam study, survey, deer survey. So it's...
you went a little four-wheeling with your car, too.
I don't even want to talk about that. $900 later. Jeez, oh, Pete's. Don't ever take your four-wheel drive into the woods if you don't know what's in the woods.
You should know the trail you're going down and not...
There was no trail, dude.
Well, I know that, but
I was creating a trail.
You didn't know there was a log there either. That
Well, I seen it. It was just a little one. There was a branch sticking up, and it got a hold of the exhaust system, and yeah.
But you did have some great footage of you doing some... I don't know who was driving the tractor.
Oh, yeah. Well, we planted, I think... Last count was 48 acres.
Is that what it was, 48 acres?
Yeah. We turned under 48 acres of field. We've got a lot of sand up there, a lot of blow sand. So we're trying to build the soils. We've been working on this for years. And, what we've got left over, 9 times out of 10 we'll turn under. But we didn't turn everything under this year. We're trying something a little different. We did about half of what we got planted.
Okay.
And coming back in, turning it under, disking it up real good, and then getting in there with a planter and laying down some new Aroostock rye. That's something we planted last year. Had great success with it. It's a seed that's it's made in Aroostock, Maine, and it's made for cold weather climates or places that it's hard to grow things.
See, and that's some of the issues I have with some of the seed companies out there that tout, you just either you throw and grow or you plant this and you're gonna. But in Michigan and in Wisconsin and Minnesota and the more northern, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, you got different soil types up there that you're dealing with, and where we're at, I mean, it's pure sand. It is really, really tough to grow anything. But last year we mixed it with Mammoth red clover and the Aroostock rye, and we had great catches of it, and it did phenomenal. And the Aroostock rye has a real high protein yield, which is good for the deer, obviously.
Yep.
Good for antler growth. And the deer were on it, virtually all year.
And that's awesome. And I think you described this before, is that the rye would grow faster than the clover, but actually protect the clover.
It did. We saw that this year, especially into, the fawning season. What we were noticing was our rye, we didn't cut it. We let it grow and come to seed on top. And it would stand, 2.5, 3 feet tall. And then the Mammoth red clover, was standing 4 to 6 inches underneath it. And the deer were having to work through the field to get to it to eat the clover, because that was their preferred food of choice at that time of year. So they couldn't come in and just, flat out mow the field down like we've seen in the past. So they had to work for it. It kept that forage there. They had to work for it, and it held them in the area.
And plus, it made them stay a little bit longer.
Exactly.
It took them a while to get through that and weed their way through it, which is kind of a cool factor. And I don't think you had that planned.
No, it's just something we kind of came across accidentally. And the reason we didn't mow down the rye right away is we've got bear in the area, and when it comes to fawning season, that's a predator of the fawns. We've actually witnessed and seen bear going through the fields on their hind legs and up and sniffing, trying to catch scent, and then they come back down on all fours and walk. And they'll take a couple steps, stand up, sniff, and then they're back down again and walk. And they're constantly doing that through these fields, looking for these fawns. And we left that tall for that reason, so the deer could drop their fawns and protect them in that high rye.
It would give them a safe haven.
Yeah, and the coyotes, the same thing. It hit them pretty well. And fawns, virtually born with no scent right away. So it helped protect them, get them to get on their feet and get their legs under.
It gave them that couple hour advantage.
Yeah,
even days advantage.
Yeah, and we held that up until probably mid-July. Giving those fawns a chance to get on their feet and get out. So, and then we come through, and then we did cut some of the fields. We mowed it down, and the other ones we turned under and planted.
So now the big question is, have you gotten rain?
You know what? This week we got rain.
Okay.
We got good rain, and actually the fields are starting to catch. Within about, 7-8 days, we started seeing green. And I talked to our camp manager, and he said, fields are just starting. He said, you can see where the plantings are. He said, they're starting to green. So we're getting good rain. And
so now what happens with that, because here shortly, typical Michigan, we're going to have a frost.
Mm-hmm.
What happens then?
I'm not a farmer. I don't know. Obviously the growth the growth does stop, but we typically don't get a good hard frost up until probably late October.
Right, exactly.
But remember, this rye, it's built for these colder climates.
So it's going to continue growing after the frost?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
That's what I was kind of asking is if because it's for cold temperatures, or is it up until frost time?
Yeah, I don't know how that all works out, but I know by the time we get into rifle season, we'll potentially have some snow at that time of year.
Yeah,
depending on how far north we are at what time of the year. We got green fields, deer are on them. They love it. They're
cool.
In it, so
kind of makes you excited for October, which is in just 2 short weeks.
2 short weeks. We'll be. Well, I won't be bow hunting, but bow season will be here.
October 1st.
Today's the 11th. No, I take that back. What is it?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks from today.
Well, actually, 2 weeks from Mara, right? Mara goes the last weekend in
24th.
Yep, the last weekend. We definitely got to get her on.
Well, I talked to her the other day. She's going to be bow hunting Ohio, opening day, September 24th. Then they've got some other commitments that evening that they have to attend. So she's going to be out in the field. Good Lord willing, the creeks don't rise. She'll be out hunting that morning, and hopefully one of them bucks that she did see on trail cam early in the season will be there.
You think if she gets a big buck, she might be late for her engagement?
That'd be a question. That'd be a good question.
So you're out in your stand, you shoot a big buck, you look at your watch.
Do you miss a family member's wedding because of a buck?
I don't know.
What would you do?
That's a question we have to pose.
What would
tomorrow.
You do? Yeah.
What would I do?
Yeah.
Depends on how big that buck is.
Nice. For all of Dan's family who have somebody that may be getting married here in the next year or two, don't do it during archery season or firearm deer season.
I got married week before gun season, so
that's your fault.
Yeah, well, no, it actually worked out good because we went hunting for our honeymoon.
Okay, well, you're lucky that way.
See, so so hopefully, we should get her on the show, get a report, see how she's doing, get her ready for her because they go a week before we do.
Yeah, they hung stands last weekend.
Yep.
I talked to her. They hung stands, so she's ready to rock and roll. But, yep, our fields are planted. So 48 acres of Mammoth red clover and Aroostock rye.
That's awesome. And it'll be interesting to see through your trail cam study here that you're going to perform and see what your fawn rate is. And then if you keep this up into next year and see if maybe this is something that kind of like when you're giving them a safe haven, almost like a sanctuary, almost like a nursery.
Right, yeah.
That's the word I was looking for, a nursery. So
yeah, well, I call the coyotes cradle robbers.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and you've got video of that, right?
You know, we'll talk about that here in the next segment of some things I found on trail cam. It's not good, but yeah, I kind of think, you know, I talked to our camp manager yesterday, and I said, and I don't like to toot my own horn or anything, but I said, you know, there's a difference between an average hunter and a conservationist. And I tend to think of myself more as a conservationist than a hunter almost anymore. I mean, I'm more worried about taking care of the deer and taking care of the property and other animals than hunting.
As you've seen, and as people have heard throughout the year how you've been going about this, you can almost see that switch over.
Yeah.
You're more worried about seeing what your herd is to start, the health of your herd, and what to do to make you've logged.
Mm-hmm.
That'll help improve.
Yep.
Now you've planted. That'll help improve.
You're
doing all the steps to become that more of a conservationist, and hopefully, as a hunter, you'll reap the benefits here.
Well, hopefully everybody at our camp will.
And that goes for the whole camp.
You know, and I guess that's kind of where I look at it from. Is one of the things I like to do is it's not just for my own hunting, it's for the whole enjoyment of the club, but as well as the surrounding hunters in the area, because we started the deer co-op, and man, you know, I thought once we started that co-op, things were going to really just take off, and we're going to get, you know, a lot of land around us, and everybody's going to join on, and this year's been slow, man.
Well, you know, it's that old adage that we've talked about, is you got to get everybody on the bus and point in a direction.
Yeah.
You know, and then I think what'll happen is by your camp leading the way and showing, look, we've done this, and this, and all of a sudden, because you're sharing information, we've obtaining this.
Right.
I think you're going to get some more to go, wow, hey, let's do what they're doing.
I hope so. You know, that's the goal and the mindset. I'm hoping that's the way it works. You know, but I've also got to keep in mind that if it doesn't work the way I want it to work, it's not just about me. It's not about what
absolutely.
I want. It's about what the group wants. It's about what the co-op wants. And those are tough things, you know, because we've all got different ideas of how we want to do things.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
The person who did the planning, was that a local farmer?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So that is a good for anybody out there.
Yeah.
You used so you didn't have to drag a tractor up there. You obtained a local farmer to come on and do it for you.
Right. Yeah, a couple guys at our camp got tractors and mowers, but you know, it's hard to put that on one person, and we don't have a planter. You know, that's expensive equiment.
Yeah.
So
that wasn't a small tractor he was using.
No. That was a huge John Deere. It wasn't your typical plow the field farm tractor from the 1970s.
No, it wasn't. And
this guy does this for a living. I mean, he's serious about it. He's got the GPS on board, the whole 9 yards. It's a big rig.
So basically, you told him what fields you wanted done, give him the seed, and then he went to town.
Yep. And I got the drone, flew the drone, and got some pretty cool shots of the planting as it was going on. But I was really worried as he was planting because it was so dry. It
looked dusty.
You couldn't see the tractor.
You know, and that was you showed a little bit of video on Facebook there, and it looked really dusty and cool.
Yeah.
Almost had that Dust Bowl effect.
Yeah, but we got rain, so that's good. That's a good thing.
You got to have that.
So I tell you what, we're bumping up here almost the halfway point of the show. Why don't we take our second break, come back, and we'll talk about some of the things that found out there on trail cam.
All right.
So we're going to step outside, stop this record real quick, and we'll be right back after this.
So what do you do when you've completely redefined the way bows are engineered? When you've reached the pinnacle and the band starts playing your victory song, you start a revolution out of thin air. Introducing the all-new PSE Carbon Air, engineered with true carbon technology to be the lightest high-performance bow in the world. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
We know the future of hunting depends on our nation's youth. But did you know that in many states, it's illegal for you to take your son or daughter hunting until the age of 12 or even older? As a result, we have fewer young hunters, and the Families Afield program is designed to eliminate those barriers. Hunting is safe, and the safest hunters afield are young people with adult mentors. Visit our website at familiesafield.org to find out how you can bring more families afield.
Back
Third segment of the show. We're still in Cabela's.
Yeah.
You know what? I like it here.
You fit well in.
So
back here in the archery department, you guys watching the live stream, you can see we're sitting right here in the main aisle.
We are.
Back in archery, so pretty cool.
Yeah.
We need some customers.
We will get some customers. Trust me.
It is
noon,
slow this morning, but it's sunny out.
It gives us time to do this.
Exactly. Exactly so. No, it's a good day here at Cabela's, but excuse me, fighting a cold. That was something else that I had while I was up north. I got slept with the windows open.
Ooh, got a little chilly on you.
Yeah, there at camp, and I got a little chilly and got a little sick. So, but no, we worked hard. Got, like I said last time, fields planning, trail cams.
So you pulled cameras.
Yeah, pull cards. Put 2 new cameras out. Moved some cameras.
Because now you know you don't have to worry about a logging project wiping out a tree or anything like that.
Yeah, and that was we didn't put most of our cameras didn't get put out until the end of June, beginning of July.
Right.
And I'm still trying to find some of those what I call sweet spots to put cameras. But what worked last year doesn't necessarily work this year because we cut a lot of logs.
Exactly. You've got a new scenery.
So we're still trying to find them those new spots that the deer want to hang out in and kind of be on. And we're getting there. But we also started the trail cam project.
So what segment of the trail cam project are we in?
Beginning. Very beginning.
Okay,
we just put them out. I moved some cameras, and we put 2 new cameras out. Or actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new cameras. Basically, we're running 8 cameras on this project, and strategically placed across the property. And this is something that's been touted by QDMA. I bought their trail camera
you got the book.
Yeah, did some reading on that, figured out how it's all set up, and what we're looking for is we're looking for a lot of things. We're looking for fawn recruitment. We're looking for how many deer we have per square mile. We're looking at our buck to doe ratio. The first thing we're probably going to be able to find out will be our deer per square mile, how many deer we have on our property. Then we got to figure out what our carrying capacity is for the property. And they'll say, okay, now we've got too many deer, which we know. We know we've got too many deer on the property. But we've got to figure out what that number is so we know how many we want to take so we don't under or over harvest.
Right. So now this is kind
of kill. I'm not say harvest. I don't like that term. I'm not going to be PC here, folks.
So you're going to come up with a number. Okay. So when do you plan on pulling these cards to check this data?
When I go back up on the 24th.
Okay.
Yep.
So
it runs for 10 to 14 days.
Okay.
And you do a placement, and you kind of let the cameras establish themselves, and then you take your last 10 to 14 days.
Okay.
So
then you guys will look at the photos, come up with a number, and that will be
help determine
your kill rate for the year.
Well, we're thinking 25 doe is what we need. That's just a number we threw out there. Last year our target was 15. We killed 12, and we've got more deer on the property than we had last year. There's no doubt about it. We're seeing way more, so we know the number, and 25 might not be enough.
Right, exactly. That's the question I'm kind of thinking is when will you know enough is enough? That might actually take a little bit of time.
It might take a while to get those numbers in check. The bigger issue is our camp is one of the few that has food plots. There's a couple around that have them, but not in the numbers that we do.
Okay.
So we know we're feeding a lot of deer for around the area, and it's like, okay, so if we kill off, let's say 25, well, that's going to open it up for more to come in.
Well, what I'm thinking here is, as the food plots go, deer are going to become obvious to the fact that you've got food on your property and start heading your way.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be a continual issue that we're going to have to deal with. The other thing is getting those buck to doe ratio numbers a little closer together. And that's the other thing we want to start seeing more mature bucks. So it's a process.
I think this is gonna play in. Now that you said that about how the food plots are in your area, I think that's gonna help the mature buck numbers because I think they're gonna come moving in and go, hey, why should I leave?
That's what we're hoping. We've seen a few up there. Seen a few, not on camera, but we've personally seen a few here or there. Staging areas and things like that. But with the cutting, like I said, it's kind of got the deer goofed up. They're like, whoa. Somebody just blew out the living room here,
Yeah.
It doesn't look the same. They rearranged all the furniture.
Who took those walls out?
Exactly. So,
but the other side of that though is now they left all the tops. They got a whole bunch more food.
Yeah, and we saw that right away too. They came in as soon as the cuttings were done. Machinery, you could see machinery working and deer, 100 yards away eating on the tops. So, it was pretty cool to see the dynamic of how that all worked out. But, the trail cam project's going to hopefully give us a good baseline to start from. And some other things I'd like to try to do this year is take the deer after it's been killed before it's field dressed and get it weighed.
Okay, so a before... Well, and you should be able to do that right at camp, right?
That's what I'm hoping, if we can get all the guys to agree to bring their deer in and then field dress them right there at the buck pole. And not only do we get that information of the live weight or dead weight at that point, so to speak, but we'll be able to maybe start tracking those numbers and seeing are our deer getting bigger over the years with this getting the food source out there, but keeping the deer numbers down, and so there's a healthy number there instead of competing for food. They're actually able to just be on the property at the right number of deer and graze and get healthier, so to speak. And
okay, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you, when you kill a deer, you won't harvest one,
right?
Do you gut it right there?
I have and I haven't.
Okay, so
and here's
what is this leading to? Is I'm thinking.
I already know where you're going with this question. I think I know where you're going.
Reading my mind here, but it's the fact is, I think that's actually a plus if you can get all your members to actually come back to a designated area to gut them.
What's your thought process? I'll tell you mine.
Okay, so from what we haven't even talked about your predators you've seen on camera.
Exactly, that's my whole point. It's because we got a dumpster at camp.
Yes,
you hang the deer up, you get the weight off it. You put a garbage bag underneath it, you zip it, you drop the innards in, and you put it in the trash. You don't have that gut pile in the field waiting for
a dinner plate to
for
serve up
coyotes.
for coyotes and whatever other varmints predators you might looking for free food.
Exactly.
Because that's what I was asking about. But I think that would be an awesome idea because we kind of started doing that at our place.
You did?
We take them back. We've been taking them back to the barn.
Okay.
And gutting them in the barn.
Okay.
Because it just, I did it one time out in the field, and it was actually the crows and the ravens and the eagles.
Right.
Man, did they have a party at my expense.
Right.
There was 20, 30 birds just squawking away, and besides being noisy, the deer were like, what's going on?
Right.
And I know there's the coyotes, wolves. They're around.
And the other thing we've wondered about, the manager and I, we've had this discussion is there a scent given off that alarm the deer? It's like, oh, that's one of our deer that just got killed. That's that smell of deer death.
I'm going to say no.
You don't think so?
Nope. Because I've shot a buck over a gut pile.
Okay.
He was standing right there, and I was like,
okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So I don't think they can equate that.
That's a death.
That's a death.
Okay.
I think it's just, to them,
it's not an alarm factor.
It's not an alarm factor. It might be a fact of life kind of thing.
I got you.
Because
we wondered,
Yep.
We never had any actual experience with it, but it's just and that's the thing. It's once you start doing this kind of stuff, you start thinking all these crazy things.
Oh, I know.
And it's like, well, I wonder, and you do. It's like, how does nature know what to do.
And it's funny, and you're sitting there out in the woods. It gives you a little time to think because you have a little
Sure.
time on your hands, and that's when it starts happening.
Yeah.
So what if?
Yeah.
But yeah, but
definitely with the predators, that's a key issue.
So with that, getting them weighed before, you'll be able to get some statistics as to your, like you said, the weight
health.
of the deer, the
Yeah.
health, and where you're going with that.
Right.
You might be able to come with a median weight for your does and a median for your bucks.
Sure. Well, and you're bringing it back to camp, and everybody there is helping. You know, if we're all working together, you know, I mean, there's no secret. We hunt up in the area where there's TB,
Yep.
and bovine tuberculosis in the herd. We can check for that. You know, you can have one guy looking at the liver and slicing them, looking for liver flukes, and that determines part of that, how heavy your predator population is. You know, because we've talked about this on the show before. If you go back and do a search on some of our older shows when we worked with Turtle Lake Club and Dr. James Kroll, Dr. Deer, that was one of the things they're looking for at that club when they're doing the deer necropsies is liver flukes. And that and the liver flukes and there's another worm that's in the intestines on the outside that you can see, and that determines how heavy of a predator population you got. You can look at the fat on the kidneys, and if there's a good fat storage there, I mean, this is later in the season, obviously, but if it helps determine how stressed your herd is.
Right, exactly.
So,
and that's one of the things, you know, and that's to go back to answer your question, you're becoming more of a conservationist.
I like to think I am. You know, I'm trying to learn. That's the bigger thing, I think. Maybe I'm not there yet, but I'm trying to learn to be better at.
I think
helping.
You can read a lot of it, but to actually do it is the other part.
Gotta get your hands dirty.
And like we just said a few minutes ago, by you leading the way, your camp leading the way, hopefully it brings on the other clubs.
I hope so. I hope it will. You know, and working together, cooperation, spirit of cooperation goes a long way within your own camp, and then with other camps, and then in the hunting community as a whole.
Yep.
I think a lot of times we get too focused on, well, you know, okay, I'm focused on my 40 or my 80 or whatever size property you got, and your neighbor, you look at him as, he's the enemy. I don't want him shooting my deer, you know.
Don't go shoot my deer.
Right, you know, and it's like, work together. You know, if you start working together, all of a sudden this whole area becomes better, and you get that same mindset. If you get, you know, and you don't all have to say, well, you can only shoot, you know, if he's outside the ears and he's a, you know, 3.5-year-old or 4.5-year-old or 5.5-year-old, you know, set some goals,
right,
you know, and then start working people towards a better goal, a higher goal.
And I think, especially in your area, how it might play out is, you're going to go from that. Oh, well, he's going to shoot my one big buck on camera.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you doing that.
Right.
To, we now have 5 big bucks on camera.
Yeah.
Oh, he got one of them, but
Yeah.
I still know there's 4 out there, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's a different mindset.
Yeah.
You know, it's different when you go down in Illinois and in the big buck countries, and you know you've got...
You know they're there.
They're there. So...
Yeah.
Do you see one? Yep. Did you hear it got shot on the other place? Yep.
Yeah.
But no worries, because you know there's more there.
Yeah. Spirit of cooperation.
Yep. Exactly.
Working together. Becoming a smarter hunter, a smarter outdoorsman or outdoorswoman. Learning different techniques of getting to your stand without spooking game. Learning scent control and making sure that you're hunting the wind. And all those things to make you a more effective hunter. You know, people that are great hunters still make mistakes. That's why I call it hunting, not killing. You know,
exactly.
But learn from those mistakes, share it with others. You know, and move forward. Last year, I had some trail camps set up, and it wasn't the area that I was hunting. It was where somebody else was hunting, and I seen a great buck there, and I'm like, dude, I said, I put a tree stand up. Go hunt that stand. I put it up for you. You know, and it's like, huh? That's why I put it there, man. Go hunt that stand.
Hunt that. You've seen a buck there.
Yeah, go kill that buck.
Exactly.
And
that's one thing that the trail cam, I think, has changed the way we do that. Is now you actually see what's there. It's not a surprise.
Right. Yeah.
I know there's a decent buck in the area, and it might not end up being the same buck.
Right.
Then you're really surprised.
I think it makes you a more educated hunter. You know, if you know a deer are there, then you want to hunt there. If you don't have any deer there in that spot where that camera's at, why put a stand up? It may look like the best spot, but why put a stand up and waste time if you're not getting anything on camera? Don't just take one time out and check a card and go, oh, there's nothing here. Move the camera a little bit, turn it. Maybe it's a different direction. Maybe you're just not aimed at the right slice of pie to see it.
Exactly.
You might need to turn it 25, 30 degrees the other direction, and bam, there's the trail.
Yep.
Or he's skirting around the edge for some reason. So.
Yep.
But yeah, just do your homework and just become more effective. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, trail cams help because it also lets you know about predators. Dude, we have got coyotes. One of the cameras that one of our guys is running, 3 coyotes nose to tail in a 10-second video clip, and they're on the prowl. We've got 2 coyotes with fawns in their mouth. We've got a bobcat with a fawn in its mouth.
So there, 3 fawns were taken.
They just, and there's more. I mean, once you're starting to see them on trail cam, there's a problem.
Yep, exactly.
We're getting trail cam photos, one after the other, with 2 or 3 coyotes. And they're not the same coyote, but they're all at the same time stamp, within the same minute.
Yep.
It's like, we know what's going on. They're running heavy.
Okay, so that's the other part of this equation that you're forming is now that you've created these food plots, now you've got other deer coming in from other places to the food plots to use. Well, here comes the predators from all over into your new place, right?
Right. So it's, it creates, I guess, more hunting opportunity. You get out there, it gives you another opportunity to get out there and smack something, kill the coyotes.
You definitely got to get out there and do some killing of the coyotes.
Yeah, so it's all part of that game. But I tell you what, we're running up here on our time mark here for the 3rd segment, so let's step outside. We'll come right back and we'll finish up the show.
All right.
We'll be right back after this.
The 2015 Dream Season Decree is a deadly combination of speed and precision. It's built for the moments when time stands still. When the only thing that will break the silence is an arrow slicing a clean path to the kill zone. The bow of your dreams is a nightmare for big game. This is PSE's Decree. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
We know the future of hunting depends on our nation's youth. But did you know that in many states, it's illegal for you to take your son or daughter hunting until the age of 12 or even older? As a result, we have fewer young hunters, and the Families Afield program is designed to eliminate those barriers. Hunting is safe, and the safest hunters afield are young people with adult mentors. Visit our website at familiesafield.org to find out how you can bring more families afield.
Back to the 3rd segment of the show here, or 4th segment of the show. Excuse me, I can't
4th
count.
segment. You're not counting well. You had coffee too.
I did have coffee this morning. Coffee's a good thing.
It is.
Rocket fuel for the soul.
You know what? I think it's time we, after this, we should really start practicing some more.
Yeah, that's the one thing I think with archery. You ran into a couple customers yesterday that kind of caught your ear when they said something. What did they say?
I want to start bow hunting.
And season starts in 3 weeks.
Yep.
That's kind of concerning.
A little bit. And both those gentlemen, I think, are coming back today. Or at least they said they will.
Okay.
So we're going to have a little sit-down with them and go over the finer points of practicing.
Okay.
They've got a lot of practice to do in the next amount of time. There's our rack of clothes for us.
Yeah, I like that. Bringing a whole rack of camo out for us, I like that.
I like that. It's one of those things that... and I've talked with the techs here, and they've actually had people come in and want to go hunting that evening.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Buy a bow, arrows, release.
It's not a rifle.
And go out
or a
tonight.
shotgun where you look down the iron sights and go bang. And even them you need to practice with.
I am excited because of the wanting to get out in the woods.
Right.
That I'm all for it. But what concerns me is the amount of time needed to proficiently take care of the animal.
Absolutely.
It's like not practicing your spearing.
Right.
So
yeah, we talked about that.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens when these people hopefully come back today, and we'll have a little bit of talking with them and hopefully get them practicing from this day forward. and do some practicing between now and whenever they get out.
Right on.
So it's just one of those things that's kind of, whoa. So other than that, we got a lot of people coming in and getting their bows tweaked. A few crossbows went out yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm encouraged by the amount of people and a variety of reasons I was given for the purchase of the crossbow.
Such as
damage to a shoulder.
Okay.
My shoulder isn't what it used to be. I can't pull back a regular bow, so I'm looking at crossbows. Another tool to put in the shed to go out hunting.
Right.
Another one was, I have one, but I want another one because I can.
Okay.
That didn't go over well with the kids. Mom and daughter were, what? But and then the other one was, it's just that whole getting another tool to get out there, just something else to get you in the field. Instead of the cold morning thinking about pulling back that 60-pound bow, they're ready to go with a crossbow.
Gotcha.
So, there was quite a few crossbows that went out the door yesterday.
The thing I know I've seen here in the last year, the shows we've been doing, I'm seeing more guys, like you said, shoulder injuries. And even with that issue, actually our live stream just ended here. Something happened with that, so Periscope guys are gone. But we're going to continue with the show here. So, back to my point about the crossbow. People coming in with shoulder injuries. And, here at the range, we get the cocking string. We load it for them, put them up there, let them shoot it, check it out. But I've come to the conclusion now. I'm starting to make – I'll do that the first time. Then the second time I'm like, okay, now you cock it.
Right.
Because
and that's
if they can't pull it back, it's like then they have to make that choice. Okay, now I need to get one with the Accu draw or the hand crank.
Yep.
To make it easier for them to be able to draw. That's that's something to think about and consider if you're going to get a crossbow and you got a shoulder injury. You need one that's got the draw assist.
Exactly. You need that, and be forewarned, it's going to be loud.
Yep.
It's going to be cranking away, click, 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 click.
Right.
But, But it's good to see those people not stopping.
Absolutely.
They still want to get out in the woods. They still want to take care of business, get out hunting, and do that. So it's kind of exciting.
Yeah. There was a gentleman who came in yesterday, and that was one of the issues. He couldn't draw it. And I'm like, okay, we need to start. You need to think about getting one that's got the draw assist.
Yep.
Well, never thought about that. Well, it's just
it's not.
There's a lot of misconceptions about crossbows.
They don't load themselves.
Yeah, good or bad, either way. Those are some things you need to think about. So.
Right, and then we've had a few people looking at that. A couple of people come in looking at bows.
Yeah,
and getting them to test drive them. We can't stress enough to try a few different ones.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They come in, and first question I have is, do you have a preconceived notion of what you want? Well, I want this one.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, we'll try that.
Yeah,
let's try a couple others.
Let's start there, and I'll suggest shoot some more.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's been, I think I kind of like seeing, to me, the numbers expanding.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that's going in a good direction.
I think so.
Because we're hearing, we're losing hunters, we're losing this, but I think, plus also the crossbow opens up. The one gentleman that was looking at the one, and he was trying to figure out how he was going to get his 2 sons out there this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, you got some choices to make.
There you go.
So, but he was getting his boys out there.
Yeah.
So.
Which means more stands to hang.
Yep, you got it.
More box blinds to build, all that kind of good stuff. Are you hanging stands at all this year? Have you got your stands up?
My stands are they're already up. If one came down last year, so
okay,
it's under a tree right now.
So that one's going to probably go in the scrap metal pile.
That one's. I don't know what I'm going to do with that thing. I got to get that tree though, because I'd like to use that for some burn wood.
Okay, gotcha.
But no.
So I take it you didn't take them down. You don't take yours down?
No, we got some permanent ones that we use.
Okay, gotcha.
So, but the tree that mine was in fell.
Nice.
Yeah, glad I wasn't in it.
Right.
It would have been a little shocker.
Well, I got 3 stands hung. I got another stand in the woods ready to go up in an area. I just haven't quite picked out exactly where I want it just yet, but it's out there ready to go. Family Traditions tree stand. If you guys haven't checked out Family Traditions, make sure you get over to their website. Check out their tree stands. Rock solid. I love them.
Very well built.
You know, you can put the whole thing together, bolt the whole thing up, and carry it on your shoulders, like, you know, put your head between two steps.
I think you actually have a picture, or not a video, of you actually carrying a whole stand.
Yeah, right through the woods. You know, I can boogie with them. They're very balanced. And,
right.
You know, there's like, it's 40 pounds. You know, you get 40 pounds out there, 16 foot long. Yeah, it's like a big balance beam, I guess, or balancing rod. But if you get it in that right spot, man,
there's a sweet spot to it.
Yeah, you can just truck through the woods with it.
And it's perfectly balanced, and away you go. You
know, and jam the two short little legs in the ground and walk it right up, stand it up. I can put these things. I don't do it by myself. I always have somebody with me.
But you could.
But I can do it by myself. Yeah.
See, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Very easy to put up.
I did work on before. It was going to be a ground blind area.
Mm-hmm.
I reinforced my camouflaging.
Okay.
So that's ready to go. So now I'll take my pop-up blind and be able to put it right into my spot and just brush it in a little bit more.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, I got a new pop-up blind this year. I got another Primos double bowl.
Okay.
Used one last year. Worked great.
Those are nice blinds. You know what? So far, all the new the pop-up type blinds, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're getting better and better and better.
I tell you what another game changer in the industry was.
Right on. The thing I wish we could get rid of. I will not use a Velcro seal on the door or a window. I refuse to because they're way too noisy. Let's come up with a way to get rid of the zippers.
Okay,
for the doors.
So the Velcro, I will leave the windows that I'm not gonna. I'll leave that. But
right.
if I'm planning, if I can shoot out that window,
it's open.
I'm doing it right away.
Right.
So
yeah,
we're getting mocked.
Is that Kyle back there?
Yeah, it's Kyle's mocking us from the back.
All right.
But you're right. I'm not so the zipper, not so much, because that's just a real quick one zip and done.
Dude, on a quiet frosty morning, it's way too loud.
Just go slow. But it's
I've tried that and it's still loud.
It's loud because you're inside it.
No, if you're on the outside trying to get in, even.
It's not that. Then leave it undone until you get there the next morning.
That's what I started doing.
That's what I do.
But still, you got to close it.
And go slow.
You know, actually what I'm thinking about doing is, you go to the hardware store, you got these plastic clamps you can kind of ratchet down with your hand.
Yep.
I'm thinking about just gathering both sides of the zipper and using 2 or 3 of these clamps and just clamping them down.
Oh, that might be a good idea.
A couple bucks trying that. So
yeah, why not? But so we got that. We'll see how the logging project goes and when that's going to happen, because that's probably going to affect my October. If they're done by November, it shouldn't affect that.
You better get that box blind in there.
That ain't going to happen this year. I tell you that right now.
Worked on 2 platforms for box blinds.
You had a cool video of actually one blind was coming down.
Yeah, well, we had to move a blind for one of the members. Long story short is I had 2 platforms built, risers. They're 8 foot by 12 foot in size. One's 6 foot off the ground, the other one's 8 foot off the ground. So I got them where I can try 4-wheeler underneath them. And we took a box blind that was already built on the ground, took and set it up on top of the platform. That one's done. I got to build another box blind. But the people who did this for me are the Amish in the community workers. And I tell you what, we also had a pole barn that needed a roof put on it, and we had them do that. So in one day, they did the pole barn roof. They built 2 risers for me, and they moved a blind.
In one day?
In one day. And there was 5 of them. And these guys were working like crazy. Great guys to work with. Had a lot of fun working with them. But they know their craft. Amish they had these platforms built, and they're movable. They're like built on skids, heavy duty. I mean, I think a tornado could come through and it'd probably still be on the ground. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So, but yeah, we had this blind to move, and it was on 16-foot poles. It was a box blind, and it just set on top of these 4 poles. It was like a kind of a pyramid style deal, and we had to lean it over onto the ground so we can move it, because it's too high to move with a tractor. And me and the camp manager kept looking at that. I was like, how are we going to do this? How is this going to happen? How are they going to be able to move this? And they looked at it and go, yep, we can do that. Go get 3 ropes. Huh? just get 3 ropes. Okay, so we got 3 ropes, leg-long ropes. They tied them to the undercarriage of the blind.
Okay.
You know, the 16-foot portion. This one young Amish kid, he 15, 16 years old, his dad says, climb that tree right there, put 3 screws in, and we'll put the rope between between the screws. You know, use it as a guide.
Okay.
You know, so it's on, and he went 16 foot up. He went he climbed this thing like a bear. Tennis shoes and bare hands. He just scaled it. And I was just like in amazement. I'm like, are you kidding me? So he goes up. He's got his cordless drill. Zip, zip, zip. Has the line up there, and that was used as a guideline to take tension off. The other one, me and the dad, he took and wrapped it around a tree, one time completely, and we used that as a clutch. And him and I were hanging on to it. Okay, and so the other 4 guys, and then one guy was just using one as a lead. So that was the 3 ropes. But the four kids went over. They got a hold of the bottom of this 16-foot tall blind,
right,
and started flipping it. Picked it up, got it off the ground, got it leaning. So we're slipping the clutch on the tree. And really, they didn't need me on the end. The dad that was holding it was just kind of gently letting it go.
And it was going over.
Yeah, yeah.
And they took it all the way to the ground.
All the way to the ground, nice and easy. And I was like, wow. He's like, well, no. He says, you just got to think about it. It's not hard. And I'm like, they do all this stuff so much, you know. I mean, you think about all the barn raisings and things that they've done through the years.
Well, that's it.
They know how to use leverage and stuff.
That's what they've learned. And like you said, they're very good at their craft.
Yeah.
And, and you had them re-roof the barn.
Re-roof the barn real quick. Yeah, that was done in a couple hours.
That was done in...
Yeah, no time.
They just put their mind to it. And
yeah, just did it.
Wow.
So...
That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, it was an action-packed 3 days of nothing but just work. And Thursday night up there, I got to see the Northern Lights.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
Put some pictures up. Oh my gosh,
is that cool or what?
Those were intense. It's probably the most intense Northern Lights I've seen.
That is so cool.
So
how that comes, it's amazing to me. I've seen them up at our place, and it's a wow factor.
Yeah, it blows your mind. So
it does.
But well, you know, we're running up here at the end of the show. We're here at Cabela's. You know, it's a great weekend here. If by the time you listen to the show, the sale's going to be over. But you know what?
No. You've actually got to the 18th.
Oh, that's right. It is to the 18th.
It runs to the 18th, so you got another week.
Got another week. That's right.
Of great outdoor days sales at your Cabela's. So go on to your local Cabela's, check it out.
Well, next week I'll be at Dundee working for Vortex Optics. So I'll be hanging out at the Cabela's down there. So come see me.
And get out and do some practicing because time's running short.
Yeah. So. You know, and since our last show, I've got a new hunter in the family.
Yes, you do.
My first grandchild.
Your first grandbaby that is now officially here.
Yep.
Took a little prodding and whatnot to get here.
Yeah, long labor, but Mama and baby are doing fine,
and you're buying gifts for the little guy already.
Yeah, he got his first camo hat yesterday.
Yes, he did.
Posted pictures online with that, and his name's Bucksnort.
Benny.
Bucksnort from.
I like that. You know what? That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. Baby B. Yep. His name's Bennington, and I think they're going to call him Ben, but I'm calling him Bucksnort.
I'm calling him Benny, so
there
he's
you
going to
go.
have a few names.
Yeah. Just don't call him late for dinner.
So if he's like you, he would never be late for dinner.
Right on. So anything else you want to throw in for the end of the show?
Nope. It's just get out there and do some practicing and get ready for season wherever you might be. I know some seasons have already kicked off.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Congratulations to Jeff Summers.
Yeah.
Looks like he smoked a big bear.
And I think he sunshot one, too.
Yep. A couple in their group smoked one in Saskatchewan, I think they were.
Yep. So the guys from over at Simply Outdoors are hitting it hard.
Yep. And then I've seen some pictures posted from other states.
Yeah. Goose season's open
hunting.
here.
Yep. Goose.
So goose season's open here.
They
in
were
Michigan.
flying this morning when I picked you up, huh?
Yep. Shot a little video of that and posted that. So yeah,
that's so cool.
It's all good, man.
Nope.
It's a good time to be outdoors.
Next week.
If you guys see, any of your local police officers, EMTs, firefighters out there, you see people who have served in the armed forces or are currently serving, go over and shake their hand and tell them thanks. And remember, today is 9/11, and we just want to give thanks to those people who are protecting our hides. So that'll do it for us this week, folks.
This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Treestands,
and Badass Slingshots.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.